Okay. Well, it's 1 o'clock, so I want to get into the show. Is everybody there now?
We're here.
Okay, awesome. All right, so hello and welcome to the webinar. I'm really happy to be here. I love talking to you guys, and I have a real purpose myself just as an individual to educate people, because the more you know about a subject, just the more you're able to control it, the more wins you can have, the more prosperous you are. And so these webinars are totally in that spirit. And at Galaxy, we want like a really informed client base that really knows their practice, their area, all the channels they can market on, with the end result that they own their town. And so that's our motto. So I'm going to take just a second to actually talk about that. So what does it mean to own your town? I want to actually talk about that for a quick sec. So you, my friends, my guests, what does that mean to you, to own your town?
I don't want there to, even if there's another guy down the road, he's not my competitor.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So that's exactly right. So kind of my own take on this is like if we're already assuming that the service is great, the doctor's awesome, because like that's true in 99% of the cases, and the doctors really care and they go through all this training to be great at what they do, and they have a heart for it. So fortunately, like we can totally count on the delivery aspect of it. So the way we tackle it is really like from the marketing end. So like how do we take that awesomeness, of the office and the people, the caring that goes on there and the pride and the quality, how do we take that awesomeness and get it known far and wide so that it's really represented out in the world what takes place in your office, and so that's totally the domain of marketing. And our concept here is that if we can capture the essence of the office and the great things that happen there and get it promoted out on all the available channels that people are paying attention to, like on the internet, on their mobile phones, direct mail, etc., that like you guys will appear like they're everywhere, like no matter where we turn, there they are, and they become the obvious choice. So one of the things I wanted to do is through this webinar, there's a couple practical exercises that I totally encourage you to do. If you can gather up the troops and go do this, it's actually a super effective exercise. I've done it before with another group I worked with, and it really helps to kind of establish an attitude, like in a positive way, but really like an attitude of like, this is our place. And so what we did is we actually went to the top of our city's tallest building. Obviously, this has to be legal, so whatever. Usually the really tall buildings in a city will have like an observation deck or a place you can go. In my case, I did this in Boston, and it was the Prudential Center, which is famous, and there's a whole observation deck in a restaurant, and you can go up there and you can see the whole city, and it's pretty awesome. So I definitely encourage you as a practical exercise to go to the top of your city's tallest building and just look out over everything. And then make the decision as a group to become the obvious choice and to own your town. And there's this isn't necessarily just like a fluffy feel-good puts there like the real concept, because I know how it is like working on a day-to-day basis. Like you're in there and there's patients to handle and there's this and that, and you can kind of get like a little bit focused on the immediate scene there. Do you know what I mean? Like I've experienced this. I don't know about you guys. And I've found there's a lot of value in doing these exercises where you actually exteriorize from that whole thing and like look out over your city and be like, okay, well, this is our domain. We're responsible for everybody's teeth in this whole area, or everybody's maybe. Like this is our baby. And so I definitely encourage you to organize that up. It's a pretty cool exercise. So there we go. So that's my statement on Own Your Town. So now I want to launch into the meat and potatoes of today's webinar, and that is the subject of direct mail marketing. What is direct mail marketing, and does it still work in 2015? Now, do you guys do direct mail marketing already?
We have.
Okay, good. Do you do it currently, or?
We've had a few attempts that didn't work out, so it's kind of exciting to be here today to hear. We've had a lot of consultants who tell us that direct mail is not dead and we should, push for it. And then we tried it and it didn't work out for us, so I'm kind of excited to hear a different idea.
Totally. Well, this is like going to be an epic direct mail marketing series of webinars. I'm going to cover like literally everything I know from raw experience on the subject and stuff I've studied and seen work, overseeing tons of campaigns. So by the time you're done with all this, you guys will be the masters. So what is direct mail marketing, and does it still work in 2015? And I just added that, and I found this cool picture of this completely like abandoned truck. Because I get this communication sometimes of like, do people even do this anymore? Or, with the internet so prominent, don't people just throw that stuff away? Or, I get people really asking me this, So I want to tackle that head on. So there is much that can be said about direct mail marketing. This is the first of 5 webinars that will completely pull apart the subject of direct mail marketing so that you understand the subject thoroughly. So if there's 5 webinars, there's obviously something to say on the subject, and obviously I don't think it's a dead subject, so I'm going to get to that right now. So first, let's just define what it is. I found this from Entrepreneur Magazine. So direct mail is a marketing effort that uses a mail service to deliver a promotional printed piece to your target audience. And I usually like to come in like at ground level on this, so I'm not trying to offend anybody by going too simple, but like it's always good to clear like what are the basic terms, So direct mail encompasses a wide variety of marketing materials, including brochures, catalogs, postcards, newsletters, and sales letters. Major corporations know that direct mail advertising is one of the most effective and profitable ways to reach out to new and existing clients. And that's from Entrepreneur. All right, in the world of dental, which we primarily work with dental, now we work with all kinds of healthcare professionals and many other people actually. Postcard marketing definitely works. And actually this particular company was completely born out of postcard marketing. This company was actually born in was not in a great economic shape, and the owners got together and they're like, hey, we've got to do something here. Excuse me. Hey, we've got to do something here. Like, we're not going to move. They were advised by a major marketing firm that they would have to move before anyone would work with them because just the town itself was too kind of like going down economically, and they refused to do that because they were important people in the community, and the community was like family to them, and they just weren't gonna bail out. So they basically got effective and started to mail out postcards, and they just, through targeted marketing, like contacting the people who could and cared about their teeth, they started to market to that target niche audience and drive people in, and they prospered under those conditions, and it was because of the marketing. So postcard marketing works. Now, these are some of my own 2 cents and my own experience in the subject, and I just want to share this with you and maybe get any other observations that you might have. But the advantages of direct mail that I see are it's something a person can hold in their hand. And I think there's something there's just something tangible about it, where they get this thing and they hold it in their hand, and even the quality of the piece and the aesthetics of it, that itself is like a communication about the practice, and that they take pride in themselves, and they're willing to invest in their own promotion and how they come across. And it's a good indicator. If you get a nice postcard that's well done and high quality, you can pretty much guarantee that those people are going to take care of your teeth well, or they're going to take care of your health or your spinal health or whatever the case may be. The other thing is like your message gets delivered. So, for instance, like an email marketing, which is actually totally awesome and can totally be used to your advantage, but there is always the thing of like, hey, maybe no one's even going to open the email, so you have to get smart about how you title your emails. But like with a postcard, like your message gets delivered. If the guy looks at his mail at all, your message will get delivered, even if it's for a couple seconds before he throws it away. And then because it is a physical item, if it's left around, it can be read and acted upon by whoever manages to see it. So, if it's left around, then we've definitely heard of this, where, it arrives in a household and it goes up on the refrigerator or it's on the table, and like it winds up driving in multiple people from that house, whether they're like roommates or other family members or whatever. So it kind of continues to work for you really until someone throws it away. Now this next one I'm going to get a little deep and philosophic, but I really think that it's true. So direct mail not only advertises your practice, it advertises the fact that you are not going away and that you are confident in your services and should come and see you. Persistent mailings demonstrate to your community that you are aligned with survival. You know what I'm saying? Like you've put your stake in the ground, you've got your office there, you're delivering, you're not going away, and you're confident enough about what you do to continuously communicate that you're there. And that's a hallmark of survival, right? And to get a little even deeper, survival is a core impulse of every person, obviously. Like we all want to survive. It's like why we get up in the morning, it's a primary thing. And direct mail actually taps into that core purpose. So hope that wasn't too deep for you, but I really do think it's true. One element of survival is that a group or a person is able to persist through time. And so by continuously mailing out direct mail, it just shows that you're there and you're not going away. And really, like some of our top clients, man, these guys just mail and they mail and they mail and they mail and they mail some more and they mail decades and they mail and they mail. And if anything, these clients are trying to plot, like, how can I do more? Okay, I'm doing 2,000 a week. How can I do 3,000? Or how can I do 4,000? We have clients who do 7,000 pieces of mail or more per week. And it's just like, what are the new areas I can hit and whatever? Because they know that they're like farmers, they're new patient farmers, and they just want huge fields where they're planting their seeds. And they know that those, sooner or later, those seeds will blossom and those people will come in. And just a side note, I don't want to try to cover everything about direct mail, but like the other thing about direct mail is that, it's a repeated thing. Some people will come in on the first postcard. Some people may literally need 10 postcards before they come in. But by continuing to assert your message and be persistent, you will get people driven in over the course of time. So it does require a little bit of patience. But if you can just put it in there as a stable thing that just keeps going and keeps going, it will bear fruit, I promise. All right, how's all that? Make sense so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. All right, let's carry on. So now, with respect to, like, is direct mail outdated or whatever, so it definitely is not, but an additional thing, now in 2015 and beyond, your postcards will very likely also drive people to your website. And we see this more and more. So nowadays, when we sign people up for direct mail and postcard campaign, as part of our due diligence and just our integrity and our just sheer desire for the thing to work well, we definitely always look at the website too, because we know that this is the age of the internet and the age of search, and that postcard may drive someone to the internet and drive them to the website. So the website homepage has to be coordinated with whatever you're sending out. So if you're a dentist and you're sending out a postcard that's advertising exam, x-ray, and cleaning for $99, then that needs to be prominently on your homepage. And, all kind of the core things that you have on your postcard need to be mirrored on your homepage so you have a very integrated marketing message. So no matter where the person turns, they're getting hit with your single communication of like new patient special, it's this much, call now, bang, 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 and they're just getting hit with that so that they comply. People need to be told stuff more than once usually before they do it. So they get it from your postcard a couple times, they get it from your website, and then bang, you can get a conversion. Okie doke, let's carry on. So now, there's a lot that goes into direct mail, okay? And I'm not going to cover it all. I'm going to cover it over the course of several webinars. Direct mail encompasses everything from the postcard design to surveys to who you're mailing it to, how many you mail, how often people should get it. All of that is part of the picture, and there's definitely right ways and wrong ways to go about that, okay? So one of the very first things I wanted to address is it's a little more general just about the subject of advertising to begin with, and this fact of the instant impression test. There's certain core things I kind of come back to again and again, but it's sort of like, you know, any professional, like a tennis player or a pianist or whatever, they go back to the basics because everything else rests upon that. So I wanted to touch upon this instant impression test again, because in the end, this is really whether your advertising is going to work or not. So this goes back to the datum that you've got about a quarter of a second to grab someone's attention to deliver your message. Like, okay, maybe a couple seconds more, but it's healthy to have that attitude that you've only got a short period of time where they're paying attention, you know? So you got to come out swinging. You know, you have to have some, like, bang, you know, that captures their attention, gathers their agreement, and you deliver your message, and you cut through all the other things that are coming out of it. So let's look at some ads, and we're actually going to do some instant impression tests right now. Now, I picked a few older school ones just to kind of really highlight, you know, a bad ad, really, versus some good ads that I'll show you in a little bit. So I'm going to show you this really quick, and then I want to get your impression of it, okay? 3, 2, 1. Okay, what'd you get from that?
Bright smile.
Hard to read. Hard to
Good.
read.
Good. So you saw someone smiling there, yeah?
Yeah.
And then let me ask you, like, sorry, go ahead.
It was definitely fast, so it was hard to.
I know it's fast. Okay, let me give you another shot at it, okay?
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, too much.
Okay, what'd you get from all that?
There was too much information on the page. There was nothing that really stood out other than the smiling picture.
Yeah, I agree with that. So it's like War and Peace, you know. There's like all kinds of writing on that thing, you know. And like as far as that instant impression, you know, what I get is a smiling woman. That's cool. I don't necessarily know that's dentistry. I get that it's a happy woman and she's smiling. And then I have like endless text, which I don't get any of the meaning of that on a quick glance. So to that degree, that ad is a bit of a flunk, you know, because it doesn't really pass that instant impression. I don't really get what it's about or what point they're trying to make. All right, here we go. Here's the next one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, what do you make of that one?
Very kiddish.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
They cater to cowards.
Yeah. Right, which just as a side note, we don't necessarily recommend that as like a niche to go for because cowards are kind of terrified of things and they can honestly be a little tough to work with. You know, they can back out of appointments and be a little tough to manage.
Right.
You know, so we don't, it's good to take care of them, and if they muster up the strength to show up, absolutely, you know, do your best. But to kind of select that out as like a niche, like we're going to go for all the cowards in our city, that, you know, it's I wouldn't make that my mainline marketing strategy because you're literally going to get people who are terrified of even being there, terrified of being in pain, and you know, honestly, they're a bit tough to work with. You know, the basic target market is people who care about their teeth and want to pay for the dentistry and are willing to show up for appointments. You know, if you can get a guy like that, kind of regardless of his income bracket, if he can work out paying, he cares about his teeth and will show up, great. You know, you got a great guy there.
I feel like you don't need all that information in an article, though. I feel like that's not going to really calm their nerves as much as getting that directly from the doctor when they're in the chair.
I do agree.
And a lot of people don't want to take the time to read all of that.
Totally. Yeah, in fact, let's just take a quick look. So, like, I just kind of go like, you know, when I see this, it's like all this writing here. Imagine it, you know, I mean, if I sit here and really put my mind to it and walk myself through it, you know, I get it, but it's like it's missing that impact. You know, what this ad is really kind of demanding is that you sit down and read it, you know, like you're reading an article or something, and that's not the world of advertising. You know, the world of advertising is come in, bang, you know, make your point, be compelling within seconds, and it's more of a thing from the gut or the emotion, like, yeah, I want that. And if you can come in with an impact like that, you'll create that instant impulse to respond. But this is like, blah, blah, we do this, we do that, we do this, we do that. And I think your point is excellent. It's like that can be covered later. Like that's the point for once you've compelled them at a very primitive level to contact you, and you make that appointment and get them in.
Yeah, the trick
They're
is
in your
getting
office,
them
and now's
in
the time to
door.
go over A through Z of everything, and you get their X-rays, and this is what you need, and all of that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's try the next one. Here it is. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What'd you get out of that?
Too many words, hard to read.
Yeah.
It's not very good.
I know, it's just like too many words. There's this thing around the internet now, too long didn't read. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's actually like TL:(DR). When someone comes out with something that's just like paragraph after paragraph, it's just not the world we live in, And people will
Right.
respond like, too long didn't read. That's it.
Yeah.
So this is like too long didn't read. And, it loses that impact. Okay, what about that one? 4,
That one's a lot better.
2,
Yeah, I like that.
1. Yeah, so what do you come away, so now we've looked at it for like 4 or 5 seconds. What do you come away with?
Cheap or free?
Yeah.
They list the
Got a lot of
stressful
free-
on there.
Mhm.
The colors are comforting.
Yeah. It's definitely a more pleasant experience, totally. There's a nice lady on there, the comforts are nice, it's a comforting color scheme. Some
It's not
stuff is being offered. Pardon?
It's not overwhelming.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Right.
Yeah, there's like an aesthetic to it that's like it's easier to digest and experience, So like you guys, I find myself more willing to engage with that ad and like receive the message of it. So let's just we'll spend a couple minutes on it. So this is the thing. So this is definitely better. I wouldn't say this is like the optimum thing, but for all the things we just
Not on there.
Sorry, what was that?
They didn't list their telephone number unless you blocked it out.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No, on that piece, you're totally right. I think it might have been originally down at the bottom, but yeah, that would be pretty bad. And that was a good spot, actually. Sometimes the hardest things to spot are the things that are omitted, The things that are there in front of you are easy to see, but the things that have been left off can be a little tough to catch. But yeah, I certainly have encountered advertising where the person left off key information, or like a website homepage where, for whatever considerations, maybe they thought it would be distasteful, or it's not part of the design to have to have your contact info really prominent, and it's kind of down, at the very bottom of the web page, trying to look stylish or whatever. And they're like, in advertising, you don't want to be stylish to a fault where people don't know where to find you and they don't know what your phone number is, So, so anyway, looking at some other elements of this ad, I mean, it's definitely a step up. If I were to kind of point out the things which I don't really like, I mean, the thing with advertising, right, and this whole concept of like the instant impression, is you got to keep it simple. And if there's anything I notice about, when I talk to different practices and they're kind of like, hey, this is a card we've been using, or this is one we designed, probably the most frequent thing that's like not right or needs to be handled is the card is too complicated and it actually sends the guy's attention in too many directions. You know what I'm saying? So like, ideally speaking, it should just be one communication. Come in for this. It's a single thing, and the common thing is a new patient offer. Now, if there was another thing that practice really wanted to highlight, like Invisalign or dental implants, the way we do it is we do that as an entirely separate postcard. So that each postcard actually only has one message, and you're only telling the guy to do one thing. Because in our experience, if you put too much of a menu there, like this is basically a menu. We got free whitening, after exam x-ray and cleaning, $99 free electric toothbrush, free Invisalign consultation. It's like, there's there's like a lot of stuff on here. And we find that tends to kind of disperse a person's attention. You know, like scatter it. And when you scatter someone's attention, they don't tend to do anything. You know, they tend to go into inaction, and we want them to go into action. So a well-done promo piece will grab hold of the person's attention and direct it through to one single offer and one single call to action, and you get them to respond to that thing. So like I was saying, you know, I've had doctors who were like, hey, I really want to focus on, you know, I want to highlight the fact I do Invisalign, or like, you know, hey, I did all this training, so like, you know, and I'm really good at implants, and I want to get the word out. So we would just do a single postcard just on that with just an implant offer, and not scatter it with like, oh, we also do exam X-ray and cleaning. Oh, and have you heard about Invisalign? And it just gets, you know, you lose the impact. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that would be my gripe. You know, if I were to gripe about this, it's definitely better, but my gripe is like too much stuff. Too many offers. All right. Now, how about that one?
Pretty to the point.
Yeah, definitely. So this is one of ours, I say with pride. And this is actually a dentist in New York who this has been his go-to card for a while now, some years. And I think he does about 3,000 at least per week. And it's a winner. You know, he just keeps this thing going out, and it just keeps kind of marinating his area, so to speak. And it's part of his whole flow into the office is these cards going out. And it's just got a lot of pluses, you know. It's got, well, number one, it's got this great kid on there. You know, I have a 3.5-year-old, so I just melt when I see, you know, a little boy. And, you know, for me, it immediately gets that emotional impact going. And he's obviously looking forward to that fried chicken. And then why keep your teeth and gums healthy? So you can eat. Okay, good. How about this one here? 3, 2, 1. What do you get out of that one?
Prostadana.
Okay, good. Fair enough. That's cool. Definitely like an elderly gentleman there.
Right.
Do you get like an emotional response when you see that picture?
Yeah, I think it really covers the bases of the ARC triangle in a postcard.
Yeah.
Shows
Yeah.
that like, you're gonna hate, you're gonna have compassion, and
Yeah.
I think it's really awesome.
I think it's really awesome too. Like it actually kind of, I don't want to lose it on you, but it kind of chokes me up a little bit. You know, I think it's a beautiful thing. And I have an elderly father, and like, would I be, you know, totally stoked to know that he's going to a dentist who has that kind of care for him. So like it really connects on some emotional levels for me. And then so I get that warm, you know, I'm like all warm, boom, you know, in my heart. And then it's the time to listen. And I'm like pretty sold, you know. I'm
right.
like, it's pretty done, you know, for me anyways. Okay, good. Let's look at another one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oops. Okay, what do you make of that one?
It's a fun office.
Yeah, it's totally a fun office. And this is specifically a pediatric, this is a real live postcard. And this is one of our, this is an actual postcard from one of our great success story campaigns. It's kind of a funny success because the doctor had so much traffic coming in from this and another card that was similarly like whimsical and fun and that kind of thing that he actually had to stop his campaign because he had to handle some organizational stuff to deal with the inflow of people. And it's a pediatric dentist, so it's kind of a funny success for us because we had to put his campaign on hold. But it so hit the mark with his target audience that it just drove people in. And when we're dealing with a pediatric dentist, for example, like we survey the parents because it's really like what do they need and want from a pediatric dentist. And in this case, you know, they want to be able to say, okay, Johnny, it's time to go to the dentist, and they don't want their kid to like fly off the handle and go, no way, I'm never going there, it's awful, you know, and be like in stark terror about going to the dentist. So this particular doctor succeeded in creating a great, friendly atmosphere for his children, clientele, and that's what happens when they go there. And they have fun, there's stuff for them to play with, it's like super colorful and all of that. And then they gently treat the children, and everybody's left feeling good, and it's a huge, you know, it's awesome. So, so there you go. How's that? Any questions about those examples?
Nope.
Okay, good. So then, I would like you all to do a practical exercise. Do you have, I mean, just in there in your office, do you have access to any kind of promotional piece that you're sending out right now, or is there anything around that is actually a piece of your own promotion that you're sending out?
Let me take a look.
Yeah, we're hosting an Invisalign night on November 17th, so we have that
cool.
promotion.
You have that piece?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I would like you to do the instant impression test on that piece you're currently using. Like, you know, wipe your mind clean that you've seen it a million times already, and you know, obviously you work there, and you know, maybe you helped design it or whatever. Wipe your mind clean of all that, and quickly view it as somebody seeing that for the first time. Like, I'd like you to actually do that now. Let's see how it goes.
Definitely a lot to read on our piece.
The heading is jumps at you and basically is straight to the point as what it's for and when it is.
Okay,
But then
well, that's good.
Follows, you know, a couple of short paragraphs, which technically I guess you don't really need that information on there.
Okay, well, fair enough. Okay, well, that's good. I mean, it sounds like you've got some of the core, most important stuff does register instantly, so that's very well done. You know, and then this is kind of the drill. You know, what do you notice, and can you understand what it's all about in just a few seconds? Do you feel like you could understand what the thing was about in just a few seconds?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Well, that's really good. And then this is just a thing for whatever future pieces you do. You know, just do that instant impression. And generally, my findings are that things can be further edited down and stripped down to just kind of like the bang, bang, bang basics of it, so you really get that impact, you know, and because that's really what you want. You want the impact and the interest, and then when the person reaches in, then you can kind of fill it out with whatever details or whatever. But the ad is designed, it's like an arrow, you know, it's to pierce through the noise in the environment, deliver your message, and cause them to take action, you know, and a lot of that other data can be filled in later. And then just in life, maybe when you're going home or when you're at home over the weekend, I'd like you to just look around your environment at the promotion that's out there and which ads communicate instantly. You know, which ones are like, bang, okay, I know who it is, I know what it is, I know what they're offering, I know how to get it, you know, like everything I need to act on it. And then take note of what ads just lose you, you know, they offer too much or there's too much writing or you're just like, forget it, you know.
Right.
All right, so that's your practical exercise, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Any questions about any of this stuff so far?
Nope.
Okay, awesome. So, the conclusion, direct mail is alive and well, and the thing is to learn it thoroughly and get it working for you. And I'm at your service. I'll help you with that over the next few weeks. So, stay tuned next week. We're actually going to get into the details of postcard design. We're going to go over things like iTrail and things like that. This is just a little teaser. We're going to get more in-depth on like what should be on your card, what shouldn't be on your card, so that you really get it converting. That's coming up. And then I do want to put a plug. I don't think anybody on this webinar right now is from Florida, but if you feel like flying down, the weather is actually awesome right now. If you feel like flying down, or this is actually being recorded, so for those of you who are watching this after the fact on the website or YouTube or whatever, on the 14th of November, we're actually having a great marketing workshop. It's for free. It's with a great friend of ours, Patrick Bolton, who is a management expert. And this is just for our people in this community to, it's our way of giving back to the community and helping them to be more prosperous through getting educated in marketing. So that's my official plug for that. And I just wanted to check and see if there's any other questions, anything about what we've gone over that you want to ask about, or anything you want to pick my brain about?
Nope.
Okay, good. Okay, awesome. Well, listen, it's been my pleasure as always to talk to you, okay? So I'll catch up with you next week. We're going to cover the design of the postcards, and then, take a second. If you can do both those practical exercises over the next week, that'd be awesome. Think of any direct mail questions, and then I'm going to cover everything, so you guys are going to be complete like ninjas in the subject, okay?
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, and I'll see you next week, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
bye-bye.